What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about the placebo effect of stress on our bodies. So, there was a study that I read on some of the most stressed out individuals in the world, and particularly, CEOs and the like. So, those that viewed stress as a negative event and, in a negative manner were dying earlier and having heart attacks because of the cortisol in their blood. But those who viewed it in a positive way, or performed under pressure sort of manner, where they viewed it in a way that they would improve through the stress, they were living longer. So the the conclusion is clear. The way that you frame the stress in your life directly impacts the effect of the stress on your body. So that's not to say that you should be stressed out all the time, but stress is not inherently unhealthy. You want to manage the stress in your life. If you're constantly stressed out and pulling your hair out, that's probably a sign that you should maybe chill, find a way to not be stressed out all the time. But the point being that stress is what you make of it. And I would argue that stress is important because, if you take a human and shield them from problems, you're going to have a failure, especially as a child. If you raise a child from virtually from birth and just try to keep them from problems, you're not going to have a successful human being on your hands. And you'll likely have a victim mindset forming. A lot of us, I feel like, myself included, have to really, if they even care at all, they really have to struggle to not resort to a victim mentality immediately when things go wrong, because for whatever reason we have been conditioned over time to take that outlook. And overcoming that is probably the best thing that you can do for yourself if you have that mentality, because the universe is absolutely giving to those who deserve it. You're not just going to get into some law of attraction nonsense and say, well, if I want it bad enough and I say some mantras every day, I'm going to get everything I want. That's not how it works. You have to believe, for sure. Believe 100%, have full faith that you will get what you want if you're willing to put in the equivalent action that is necessary for what you want. And then the universe will give it to you. But having a victim mentality, especially on problems in your life and stress, is going to absolve responsibility from in your mind. You're gonna have a mindset of, oh, life is against me, things aren't working out for me, instead of, this is a problem, how can I fix it? When you absolve the responsibility, you also absolve any sort of action that you would have taken to solve your problem. If you're just complaining about it, then you don't feel the need to solve it, because you're like, oh, this is happening to me, not this is where I found myself based on my circumstances. So, in general, I know it's really easy these days to just wake up and look at the world and think, oh, everything's fucked, and it kind of is, but you can look at that in a negative way and say, well, the world's fucked, what's the point? Or you can look at it and say, wow, there's a lot of problems to solve. And that's not to say everyone needs to save the world or attempt to save the world, but even in your own life, perceiving it in that way, in which you see all the problems and you are not defeated by them, but you are then fueled and motivated through all the problems, then this is how you become a successful individual and a beautiful individual in general. When you have a positive outlook on life, it's attractive in many ways to people and to rewards in general. So if you want to be successful, you have to look at your problems in a, how can I fix this sort of way? So if you take your mindset and you look at your life objectively, take inventory of what's going on, that's the only way that you can really assess and then take action. You have to be able to say, well, I don't like this, but I'm the only one that can change it. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you truly don't like where you are, then you wouldn't be there very long, right? That's just the facts. But when we get into the complaining thing, like I said, it becomes easy to stay there because we get this sort of enjoyment from being able to complain about something. It's a weird relationship with pain, but essentially, you know, the answer's there. If you want to not be where you are, if you're unhappy where you are, if you would like more success or more health or more happiness, the answer's there. Look at it differently, assess your problems differently, and then, you know, maybe work towards the outcome that you desire. And it might feel a little bit outrageous at first, it might feel unachievable, but it's only because you're not making any action towards that goal that you don't feel like it's achievable, because everything is possible to anyone, no matter what. There's plenty of success stories out there from people exactly in your position or worse. So at the end of the day, think about your problems in a way that you can solve them, and you'll solve them. Who knew? That's it. That's this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope it was useful to you, and I'll catch you on the next one.